Howdy ho guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the old den of tools. And today is Monday, December 19th, which means it's time for Deals of the Week! Not just Deals of the Week, but your final Deals of the Week before Christmas. So let's jump into it, because I know you got some gifting to do, especially for yourself, because who deserves a good Christmas present better than you, right? Except for maybe me. If you want to get any of these for me, I'll probably be okay with that. But let's jump into it. First off, got to head over to Tractor Supply. They got two tool chests we need to talk about. They got the Big Red, the 9-drawer tool chest cabinet, 1,000-pound capacity. This is a DIY weekend warrior kind of level tool chest here. It's real simple. You got drawers all the way across. There's no division or anything else. It's $500. And if this was 3 years ago, I would say that's a meh kind of price. Today, that's a pretty good kind of price, honestly. All right, and on the right, we've got a 7-drawer mobile work cart here. It's even got the pegboard on the back. You don't have to install that if you don't want. It's got a power strip and USB stuff on the side. I think it's got the USB. It does have a power strip. But that said, you know, you look at this price and you're like, well, that's an okay price, like a Yukon or a Husky kind of price, except this isn't a 40-something inch. This is a 52-inch tool chest. That's a good step up from there. I think it's probably, I haven't seen these in person, but looking at the pics and the specs, it looks to be about the same kind of build quality as your weekend where your DIY level kind of stuff. But still, for a 52 over like a 46 or something like that, that's a nice step up for that same amount of money. All right, real quick, also want to let you know that the sale over at Olight is still going on, at least till the end of day today. I think it goes based off Eastern time at midnight, but you got all sorts of stuff. You got the O knives, you got the little work light I talked about before. I was kind of down on this work light. Look, it's got a big brother now. I was kind of down on it, and then I just happened to have it with me and was doing some work on a friend's truck. And you know what? The magnetic on it, you clip it on there, point stand, you can see all sorts of stuff with hands-free. Honestly, it's a little bit more useful than I wanted to give it credit for, so maybe you might want to consider that one. All right, also, you know, we don't have any deals for you right now coming at you from Ace, but I just want to talk about this because they sent me this. And I've been saying for some time, you got to get signed up for the Ace rewards. And yeah, I know people don't like getting the mailing list or something, then set up a dummy account, because if you don't, you miss out on stuff like this. 25% off any item under $50 or $12.50 on any item over it, only on regularly priced items. That's a nice little pickup there. You're going to get all sorts of savings with that. There's tons of stuff at Ace that I could use that on, and I'm probably going to here shortly. All right, let me jump over. I want to thank today's sponsor, that's Lasgu, laser self-leveling green cross laser line with vertical and horizontal pictures. This is your typical DIY construction, maybe even, you know, prosumer grade kind of laser level here. For if you're doing some work and you don't want to spend a lot of money on a laser level and you want something that's decent, it's self-leveling, it does all the stuff you need it to. Got the nice green laser on it there for $35. And then look at that, and then we got a coupon on it for another 20% off. That's a ridiculous kind of savings on something like this. Build construction is great on this. I was gonna demo it for you, but you know, really need to do that outside. And right now with the wind chill, it's negative 27. So since Blue's not here, I'm not going outside. But take my word for it. For the price, it's gonna be hard to beat. Although I am gonna beat somebody over there who's throwing stuff around the old cave here. But anyway. We got to talk about DeWalt. We got the DeWalt Max cordless. Now this is XR. I always say you want to look at the XR, you want to look at the Atomic, and you want to look at the Flex tool. Stay away from the basic brushless and the brush tools at DeWalt. But this is a good combo kit here. This is a solid combo kit here. For $179, you're getting the XR, which is the equivalent to like the Milwaukee Fuel. This is a good system here for $179. That's hard to beat, but before you pull the trigger on that, I got some other DeWalt deals, so just keep that one in mind. All right, next up, this one you might want to pull the trigger on. If you've been looking for a router, oh my gosh, $119. You're getting the fix, you're getting the plunge. Ever since Porter Cable exited the router market, it's been Bosch by themselves. But the Skill one, I know a lot of people who switched to Skill and have been coming back to me going, Bear, this thing's legit. It's a good router. I'm willing to say it's as good as the Porter cable. Not having used it myself, I can't say that, but I can tell you a lot of people have been really happy with it. And at that price for a fixed and a plunge base, that's a ridiculous price there, $119. That's like a Christmas present there. That makes someone's holiday there. All right, Fluke 107, great quality pocket multimeter here. Easy to carry, lightweight, yada, yada, yada. This is a good, solid multimeter here. Fluke, of course, makes fantastic, professional, great kind of stuff. Is it their top of the line? No, not even close. But for $89, if you've been looking for a solid, everyday carry kind of multimeter, this is not a bad choice. Look at it, not that big. You fit in your shirt pocket, all sorts of stuff there. Anyway, $89, I might even have to consider grabbing one of those. I don't know. Let me think about it. All right. Impact wrenches. Now, if you've been watching our friends over at the Torque Test channel, they test all sorts of stuff. And if you haven't, boy or brother, you missing out. All right, go check them out. But they did a test on Amazon only, stuff that you can only find on Amazon. And CC here was one of the ones they're like, you know what? These are worth the money. They're not half bad. All right. So anyway, we got this one on sale right now, $160 on this one here. And you got the $20 coupon off of that, so it's $140. You're getting two of these blocky batteries, and look at this. I mean, quality impacts. Look at those impact sets there. Come on, have you seen anything like that? Yes, hashtag sarcasm. Anyway, but if you're looking for a generic, an inexpensive impact wrench, that might be one you might want to consider. If you're looking to save a few bucks, they've got the first gen slightly down on the torque specs there on it, and it's coming in at $112. But you get the $20 coupon. That's sub $700 for a decent impact wrench. You know what? And you can just order it off Amazon, and it'll be there for you. Now, whether it'll get there before Christmas, this one says free delivery Friday, December 23rd. So it's going to get here for me before Christmas, and I'm in the boonies. All right, I don't get the next day stuff. When we're down in Vegas, they have stuff that arrives same day. That's ridiculous. Same day delivery. DeWalt 12-inch. This is not the sliding miter saw. This isn't the top of the line, but this is the DWS 715. This is a solid workhorse 12-inch miter saw. If you don't need a sliding miter saw, you need something for the shop or something for the work site, $200. This is one you have to consider. Now, is it going to arrive by Christmas? No. You have to if you're buying it as a Christmas gift, you have to show someone a picture. But you know what? That is a fantastic miter saw for that price. All right, mechanics wear gloves and eye protection. They are having a huge sale. Look at this, 48, 50%, 22, 42, 30. That's the percentage off. I love mechanics. I've been using mechanics gloves for years and years and years. There used to be, there was hard to find ones that were as good. Now you can find ones that are as good or within spitting distance. But when they're on sale like this, that's when you're like, okay, I'm going to grab me a set of those. They're all sorts of great, no matter whether you're using hand tools, power tools, or powder actuated tools. These are fantastic gloves. All right. If you've been holding out waiting for the Porter cable air compressor to go on sale, and with the three nailers on it, and you haven't seen it, well, this is why, because it's, Craftsman's the new Porter cable. Let's be honest. They painted the sucker red, and now I put Craftsman on it. It's the same thing we were seeing before. Now for $249. There used to be cheaper. Lots of things used to be cheaper, but that's your deal for the three nailer air compressor for Christmas. Now, one of the things being Christmas, the wintertime, I find is a good time because you can't get a lot done, especially if you're up places like this. The wind chill on Friday is supposed to take us down to close to -50. I'm not going to be outside doing much. Oh, wait, no, I'm taking the family skiing. Who does that? Anyway, a better time to stay in the shop and get some organization done. So you got some stuff in your garage. You got that one corner you can't fit anything. Guess what? Make it a clutter-free corner now. You got this organizer here for $70, down from $80. The Placow garden tool organizer with wheels. Nice thing is you can move it around as needed. You need to get some back in there, fix something, whatnot. You can move things around because it's always like back in that corner, like near where the track is for your garage door or something like that. Anyway, now you can roll it out of the way when you got to get back there, run cords, whatever. Anyway, this is a great deal. Your pickaxe can fit in it because that's where I'm going to store my pickaxe. Or is that a mattock? Looks like a mattock. Anyway, it's good organization. I like finding times like this to get the shop organized. Speaking of which, we got to talk then about these because we've talked about these before. And a lot of people have reached out to me and said that they got one of these rack systems and it's really cleared up their shop. $22. It's a nice, you got a 3-tier there. You got one for your hand tools. You got one for your other stuff, I guess. You got your screwdrivers and other stuff on the side. Batteries up top. I love that they couldn't actually buy tools and put on there. They had to Photoshop. How much did you spend Photoshopping in these tools? Because that's not a, I don't, maybe I'm wrong. If you know Bosch overseas and that's what they look like, then let me know. But that doesn't look like any Bosch tool I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong, but this really screams Photoshop to me. It's the lack of shadows, I think, kind of does it. Oh, there's some shadows there. Are there shadows? I can't tell if there's shadows. Anyway, it doesn't look... Yeah, I mean, look at that. Photoshop. Stop Photoshopping your stuff in places it never was. That is ridiculous. It looks like it's just floating in the air. All right, cheesiness aside, for $22, it's going to get you organized. So at least consider that. Now, if you want even more organization, how about this? Look at that thing. You can put everything and its brother up in that. It's still only 3 tiers, but you got bigger tiers. I like the way you can mount this thing to the wall, and then it just goes in these little slots here. I really like that. Now, the question is, on this bottom one, will it lock properly into place, and you can slide it in and out and everything. Now, those look like rigid or AEG tools there. It says Ryobi on the battery. It legit says Ryobi on an orange battery or orange tool. I don't know. Again, I'm not overseas. I'm not in China. Maybe Ryobi in China is orange. Why are you putting your dumbbells on top? Can someone explain this to me? Who in marketing over there thought this was... Well, I bet this is how Americans organize their garage. Anyway, 5% coupon on that. Oh my gosh, I am off my rocker today. Moving along, DeWalt batteries. Now the 1.5s, I get it. They're not the biggest, baddest battery out there, but sometimes you just need something slim, quick, easy, light. And for $28, considering the list price on these is stupid DeWalt ridiculous, it's actually not a bad price. If you need a couple spare smaller batteries, you might want to consider that one. Next up, Metabo HPT. Again, if you saw my listing on talking about power tools, Metabo HPT is one of those value pro kind of tools. They're fantastic. They got a lifetime warranty, lifetime of the tool. As long as the company makes the tool, it's still under warranty. This is their triple hammer impact driver, 4-stage electronic speed switch. This thing's a tiny little beast. 2 batteries, charger, and a bag for $99. Are you serious? That's ridiculous on that tool. How about this? We can get 2 of them. We got the multi-volt hammer drill and triple hammer impact tool cordless combo kit with lifetime warranty. Again, lifetime of the tool, not your lifetime. Looking at $129. So basically, are we getting... I think it looks like you're getting this one that's $100, and we're adding in the drill driver. Everything else stays the same, and you're getting it for $30 more. Why would you not do that? Anyway, next up. All right, you've all seen this at Harbor Freight, right? And I just looked at the price of Harbor Freight, $69. You don't want to go to Harbor Freight, don't have a Harbor Freight near you. This is the 3-tier shelf here from Torin, $63.60. Free shipping. It will arrive after Christmas. Just keep that in mind. And as I've been saying, a lot of the stuff arriving after Christmas. You know what gets there before Christmas? An Audible gift subscription. This is not sponsored. I've been trying to think about what are great gifts to give. I'm a huge fan of Audible. How big a fan of Audible am I? This is my account right here. Hey, Jeffrey, right here. 10 credits available. I need to buy some books. I've been a listener since 10/30/20. That's 10 years I've been on Audible. I have over 500 books in my library. I listen to a lot of books. I used to read a lot. I truly enjoy reading. And, I just don't have time anymore. I don't have time to sit down and read, and Audible has saved me. I never listen to the radio anymore. We've got a subscription to XM that came with our truck. The wife listens to it. I listen to Audible. That is my peace in when I'm in the cab of the truck and I'm going anywhere. An audiobook goes on, and you can give an Audible, if I could say it, an Audible membership. We got 1 month for $15. 3 months is, I think, really, you got to give them the 3 months because it's going to take them that long for it to really become part of their lives and truly understand what you gave them. $45 is a fantastic, you're getting 3 credits plus the catalog, and there's a ton, as I said, I can't talk to you, a ton of free stuff that's in there. The wife was just looking at some stuff, and she's like, oh, I want to buy this, and I point out to her, I'm like, it's free with our subscription. So there's a ton of books that are free, plus the ones you can buy. Also, if you're a member, you get a discount on other books. So if you want to extend it or buy additional credits, you can do that at a discount as well. The last book I listened to that really changed things for me was American Buffalo by Steve Rinella. If you've ever watched Meat Eater, that's that guy. He's in love with the American Buffalo. He wrote this book. I can tell you, it made me, I live in Buffalo country, and I didn't know this. How many of you out there, I'm 53, how many of you out there were taught when you were little that the American buffalo was extinct and only this little runt relation to the buffalo called the bison was left? Total fabrication, complete lie. The bison is the American buffalo. They originally called it the buffalo. They changed the name to the bison because it's not actually related to true buffaloes like you'd see in Africa. As such, that's it. They're still roaming. Trust me, they're all over Yellowstone. I see them all the time. The American buffalo there's 500,000 of them in the U.S., and I would never have known this if I hadn't listened to this book by Steve Rinella. I highly recommend it. All right, moving on. Work Pro, again, another Harbor Freight replacement. We've seen it at Harbor Freight. They phased it out. They brought back a new one. It's a little bit more expensive. You can get the same one essentially, except it says Work Pro on it, for $99. It's a solid workbench. Trust me, there's a ton of screws. It's a real pain in the you-know-what to put together. But once you get it put together and you do it right, it's fabulous. And then after maybe after 3 or 4 months of using it, go back, tighten a few more screws just to make sure, and it'll just stay like that. And it makes, what I love it for, it makes a great tech bench. Super smooth surface. You got the light up top. I put all my little small hand tools and stuff. That's what I've always used it for, as a tech bench. Works great for that. You even have power on the side for all your little tests and stuff. I love the thing. I couldn't believe how good it worked. All right. Bargain base, you want stocking stuffers right here. Hyper Tough, 4-piece pliers set, ergonomic grips, lifetime warranty, $10. $10. Needle nose, you got some dikes, you got some, and 2 pairs of slip joints. Fantastic plier set there. All right, next up, this thing. Talk about a stocking stuffer. I don't know what that thing is. Who thought this was a good idea? I don't know. It looks bizarre, but you know what? That's a lot of bits you get to carry there with a screwdriver. It's an okay screwdriver. It's a typical bit driver kind of thing here, but it's a ratcheting one on top of that for $10. A fun little Christmas gift, maybe a white elephant kind of gift, maybe for Uncle Steve, who nobody knows what to get him. There you go. I look like a hairbrush at first, but I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think. Is this thing just silly, ridiculous, or do you think it's kind of cool? Cool, ridiculous. Well, we should do a vote on some tools here to figure out what people think about them. What's not ridiculous? Okay, it's kind of ridiculous. It's got a rubber wood top. Who wants a bouncy wood top? That means it's not actually bouncy. Okay, no, all right, I'm joking. Rubber wood's a type of wood. It's cheap wood. But you know what? It's an inexpensive workbench or standing desk if you want. $79. If you've got a space to put some 3D printer on it, you know what? I'm going to be building a spot for a small metal lathe. Maybe get something like this, put some weights on it to add some stability to it. I found in my shop. You'll have to do. We'll do a walkthrough. You have to subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. I'm going to show you what I found in my shop that would stabilize this bench. It is insane. All right, next up, we got the DeWalt Power Detect XR. That's what I said, hold off. This is the top of the line XR with the combo kit here. 2 batteries. You're getting the hammer drill on this. You're getting the impact driver. You're getting an 8 amp hour battery, and you're getting a free tool. Your free tool choices? Well, we got a whole bunch here. Let's click show more. We come down here. Look at this. You can get another 8 amp hour battery. Why would you not do that? Oh, they got the circ saw. The circ saw is pretty good. You got the grinder. That's a pretty good grinder. The recip, it's a decent recip. Is it the best recip out there? I'm not gonna say it's the best recip. I think I'm really partial to that FlexVolt recip. That thing is just butter. But that said, this is a good recip. That's a fantastic grinder. It's a great circ saw. But another 8 amp hour battery. If you're already in the DeWalt line, 2 8 amp hour batteries. Come on, you know you want that. All right, check this out. Skill Power Core, 2-tool, 20-volt, brushless, okay? Remember, on 12-volt, all the Skill stuff is brushless. And the 20-volt, they have a brushed and a brushless line. You're getting the battery there. You're getting the charger. That's the good charger. And you're getting a free battery with purchase. So this is a 2-battery kit, brushless drill and impact, 5-year warranty for $120. That's a fantastic deal. That beats about anything out there right now. And also remember, if you guys weren't following it, the new line over at Amazon, Denali, that's Denali by Skill. These are all Skill 20-volt tools. And those batteries are interchangeable. So those batteries work with this. This works with those. The chargers are interchangeable. The tools are interchangeable. So you essentially got, and being Amazon, they love to throw deals on these things. So if you're looking for a line to get into a prosumer, this is really on that line between prosumer and DIY level. They're good quality tools. I absolutely am in love with the 12-volt stuff. The 20-volt stuff is good. The only thing I think that drags it down is it needs more power tools in the line. If they came out and expanded the line to the size of a Bauer, I think this would be just another one that everyone should consider. All right, speaking of flex, we talked about that before. We got a couple of BOGOs here. We got the 2 kits here, and the BOGO you get with it is they get quite a selection. You can get a free 2.5 amp hour battery there. That's a decent little battery. You can get the work light. You can get the radio. I got the radio, and I was actually just using it this past weekend. I was with the Cubs down at the shop using the radio. It's a decent radio. It's okay. It's nice. It's rugged. It looks very manly and stuff. I don't know if I'd pick that up as my free item. The job site blower, I don't know if I'd pick that up. The fan is decent. It's going to get hot eventually. I know it's cold right now. Might want to consider that. That shop vac, it's a 1.6 gallon. It's a small shop vac. But if you need a portable vac, that's not a bad little tool. It's actually pretty nice. Flex is known for over in Europe for their vacuums. So they're bringing good tech with that. All right. And I like to save the best to last. You're not going to believe this. But we got the DeWalt table saw job site size compact. Remember, they don't do a 10-inch anymore in this. It's now an 8 1/4 inch for $270, $269.94. Count the change on that. That is the lowest price I've seen on this in a while. Let me check my data here again. That's the lowest price I see listed, at least from Amazon. Probably the lowest price I've seen since. I think it's lower than I've seen even pre-COVID. That's a ridiculous, and that was the 10-inch, of course. 10-inch, I can't believe they dropped it down to an 8 1/4. But if you're looking for a DeWalt job site saw, $270, pull the trigger, because this is not going to last. This is going to be one of these ones where people on Tuesday and Wednesday are commenting in the comments going, "Why did you lie? The price is blah blah blah. It's not that price." That's the way Amazon works, guys. When a bunch of people buy something, Amazon goes, "Oh, people want this," and they raise the price. So if you're not first, this is why I say you got to ring the bell when you subscribe, because you got to get notifications on these videos if you want to save the real money. Anyway, if I don't see you all before Christmas, from my family to yours, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas and that everyone has a fantastic holidays. And then also for all of you who the holidays are hard on, our hearts go out to you. I wish there was more that we could do for you, but we thank you for being part of our family and our community here on YouTube. We really do. You guys all mean the world to us. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, come on, say it with me. Shine on.